Hey everybody, what's happening? Son of a silver stacker here. In today's numismatic news and information for the 17th day of March 2021, going to start our day over to JMBullion and look at the spot prices. Looks like gold's up $7.10, silver's up 15 cents, platinum is down 347, and palladium is down 967. So going over here to Google machine and look at the word inflation. You've probably heard about it lately. You've probably seen it online. I know if you're somebody who's into numismatics and collecting coins, especially from purchasing from the mint, you've noticed that the prices have gone higher there. So this is something that's actually been happening since last year, and only now is it getting real attention. Okay, so it's already here, but it is getting more attention now, and that's really, I mean, you've seen it with the food prices, you've seen it with the gas prices. So what causes inflation? Inflation is a measure of the rate of rising price of goods and services in an economy. Inflation can occur when prices rise due to increase in production costs such as raw materials and wages. A surge in demand for products and services can cause inflation as consumers are willing to pay more for that product. We know this already happens from the secondary market because demand for certain mint products after they release from the mint can only be obtained from the secondary market, and the prices are usually very high, especially right after they drop. And now it says here it can also occur when raw materials cost increases. So we've seen that for silver because the United States Mint raised prices on 15 different silver products over and the last summer into fall. And not only that, they also raised prices on their 3-inch metals, and they quadrupled from $40 to $160. So that was incredible. So we're definitely seeing an inflationary environment, no doubt about it. So I looked up gold and the word inflation on the Google machine. And it says here, this is 3 hours ago, 1 day ago, 22 hours ago, all three of these stories. Inflation bets nudge gold higher ahead of the Fed outcome. Gold prices extend rebound as Biden's stimulus risks inflation ahead of key U.S. information, right, of the federal outcome. Why healthcare sector, not gold, is the best inflation hedge. That's interesting. So I wanted to show you this 8 reasons to own gold. And me personally, this is just an opinion by this particular writer, Tony Del Torrio. And but I thought, there's some key takeaways that you really ought to know. And he says it right here. Throughout history, gold has been as a special and valuable commodity. It's commodity and money, right? Today, owning gold can act as a hedge against inflation and deflation alike, as well as a good portfolio diversifier. As a global store of value, gold can also provide financial cover during geopolitical and macroeconomic uncertainty. A history of holding its value. Here we go. Here's the one for inflation. Gold has historically been an excellent hedge against inflation because its price tends to rise when the cost of living increases. Over the past 50 years, investors have seen gold prices soar and the stock market plunge during high inflation years. This is because when fiat currency loses its purchasing power to inflation, gold tends to be priced in those currency units and thus tends to arise along with everything else. Fiat currency means a currency that is not backed by gold or any other commodity. Moreover, gold is seen as a good store of value, so people may be encouraged to buy gold when they believe that their local currency is losing value. Now, that's all well and good, okay? However, there's, I don't know if it's a widely known fact, little known fact, but in 1933, American President Franklin Roosevelt created the Emergency Banking Act, which stated that those who own gold must turn it into an approved bank. This did not include any personal jewelry, however. But it does say Executive Order 6102 was a presidential order signed by Franklin Roosevelt that forbade the hoarding of gold coins, gold bullion, or gold certificates. The reasoning behind the order was try to combat the Depression. Times had been tough, and the hoarding of gold only made economic growth stall further. Opinion, maybe. In addition, the order was designed to help the Federal Reserve increase the money supply during the Depression because the Federal Reserve Act required the Fed to have 40% gold backing on notes that issued. Now, could this happen today? Probably not, but it's happened in the past, so those who do not learn from history, right? The executive order required all those who own gold coin, bullion, or gold certificates to deliver them to the Federal Reserve on or before May 1st, 1933, The order did, however, exempt certain cases of ownership, such as certain industrial uses, art, and other professions. In addition, people were allowed to have small amount of gold, $100 in coins, or recognized collectible gold coins. The government paid people $20.67 per ounce for the gold. The price of gold from the Treasury was then raised to $35 per ounce. See, they gobbled your stuff up and said, you know what, we're going to almost double it. So the profit that the government realized on the gold was used to fund the Exchange Stabilization Fund, which was part of the Gold Reserve Act of 1934. Numerous seizures and prosecutions followed as some chose to try and hold their gold. It didn't turn out very well for them. Eventually, it became legal for citizens of the United States to purchase, hold, and sell or deal gold after President Gerald Ford signed a bill stating so in 1974. So that was a few years later, huh? It took his signature along with the act of Congress to repeal the previous laws regarding gold ownership. So if you're born after 74, you had no idea, maybe, and maybe you did. But isn't that incredible? So reasons it could happen. The U.S. dollar continues to lose value. In fact, the U.S. dollar has been in decline for years. The dollar status as the reserve currency of the world is being threatened. Don't get that wrong, and does not enjoy the same security it used to. There's a lot of people vying to be the top dog on the hill, okay? Fiat currencies fail. Over time, these paper currencies lose their purchasing power, as we're seeing today with the U.S. dollar. Some type of potential currency crisis could possibly reinforce government's appetite for gold. That's the real wealth, and they know it, and since you're on this channel, you probably know it too. Some people question the U.S. government's gold reserves and feel that the reported gold reserves in Fort Knox and other locations do not really exist or are significantly smaller than reported. Some claim that a lack of independent audits of gold reserve makes the reported amount seem a little less than credible. That's random. Sovereign debt issues remain a concern in today's society. The USA has a large amount of debt, as many other foreign countries do. Now, it just talks about why it may be unlikely here, but I don't want to chew your ear off. So I'm going to leave this link in the description. But what you really need to take away from this is not only can the United States government take your gold if it's in a safe deposit box, it can clean out your bank account. It can clean out your 401k. There's all kinds of things that can happen, especially since the 2008 financial crisis happened. Now, people who hoard gold and silver thinking that, inflation is coming and they're going to preserve their wealth, that's all well and good. But if they do come looking for it, they're going to find it and take it. Now, which one could you hide better? Gold or silver? So if you have 100 ounces of gold, 100 ounces of silver, obviously they're worth two different worlds. But I mean, I think it would be easier to squirrel away gold. Let's say, okay, backtrack, not 100 ounces each. Let's say $1,000 in gold and $1,000 of silver. Which one would be easier to hide, right? Think about that. So that's pretty wild. It's coming. I mean, it's definitely, everybody's talking about it now, and we've already felt it. We've felt the price increases of silver. We felt it at JMBullion. We felt it at AppMex. Our purchases on eBay. So you might want to get protected. And basically these kinds of environments, everything costs more, rates go up. In fact, during the late 80s, not the late 80s, the early 80s, late 70s, interest rates were incredibly high. If you could probably have $1 million in the bank at 20% interest, you'd never have to work a day again ever in your life. It's incredible. So we could see 20% interest rates again. Maybe, maybe not, but who knows? Maybe we see 0% interest rates with high inflation. It's an unpredictable market, folks, but there's things you can do to protect yourself. So I hope that you do. And I want to thank you for watching. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you hear and see, subscribe to the channel. It's free. Son of a Silver Stacker, out.